Today's story is about Rebekah, a woman who was loved deeply by her husband Isaac, with a passion that was evident to all who saw them together. Isaac adored Rebekah. She was the answer to his prayers, a divine gift that he had longed for. They were a couple who had been blessed by God in so many ways, but they were childless in a time when family and lineage meant everything. Not having children meant you are either incomplete, unsuccessful, or even cursed by God. But this was not the case. You see, Isaac was the son of Abraham, and he had inherited a massive promise from God, a promise of land, of prosperity, and of becoming a great nation. He was the chosen one, the one through whom God would fulfill his promise to make Abraham a great nation. But without any child, that promise seemed like a distant dream. Can you imagine the emotional toll that takes on a couple? The shame, the guilt, the sense of inadequacy. They must have felt like they are doing something wrong, like they are missing the mark somehow. And as the years went by, pressure from their community intensified. People were talking, they were whispering and wondering what was wrong with them. All their friends, all their family, even servants had children, even their animals had children. But not Isaac and Rebekah. They were invited for all baby dedications and birthday parties, and I'm sure they attended all of them feeling like they were stuck in some kind of spiritual limbo. And every time they walked by, people stared at them. Rebekah was worried sick. She visited doctors, midwives, did everything she was told. She never stopped praying. She never stopped believing. And every month, her hopes were dashed as soon as she discovers she was not pregnant. The silence of God during this time of their pain was deafening, and the feeling of isolation and loneliness was overwhelming. In the ancient biblical world, lineage and family were everything. Your ancestry and family inheritance were what guaranteed your identity, your status, and your future. Can you imagine waiting 20 years for something you desperately wanted? 20 long years of hope and anticipation. 20 years of unanswered prayers. 20 years of looking at an empty cradle, wondering if it would ever be filled. 20 years of wondering why. One day, the weight of disappointment crushed her spirit yet again, and she was lost in her thoughts, crying silently. When Isaac saw her, and he pitied her, he went into his tent with deep sorrow, prayed fervently to God for his wife because she was unable to conceive children, according to Genesis 25 verse 21. And the Lord granted his prayer, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. Finally, after 2 decades, God answered their prayers. Rebekah became pregnant. She glowed in her pregnancy. She moved around the village with so much pride and joy. Every whisper turned to testimony. All her secrets and open mockers. They glorified God every time they saw her walk by. God shut up their mouths. But the children struggled in her womb, and she went to inquire from the Lord. And then the Lord said to her, 2 nations are in your womb. Wow! Rebekah was not just blessed with 1 baby, but twins. When it was time for her delivery, she delivered 2 sons and named them Esau and Jacob. Isaac became a father at the age of 50 because he married Rebekah when he was 40 years old. I can only imagine the joy, the relief, the gratitude they felt when they finally held their baby, Esau and Jacob, in their arms. It was a moment that fulfilled their deepest desires, a moment that proved that God was still with them. God was still listening. God was still working on their behalf. God's timing was perfect. He had a plan and it was good. The birth of their sons was a testament to God's faithfulness. It was a reminder that God is never late and He always keeps His promises. Isaac and Rebekah's story is a powerful reminder for us today. You may be waiting for your own miracle. Maybe you're facing a challenge that seems impossible. Don't give up. God is faithful. He knows your heart. He sees your tears. He is a Roy, the God that sees us. Just keep praying. Keep trusting. Your miracle is coming. And just like God blessed Isaac and Rebekah in His perfect time, He will bless you too. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Let's dance, come on, let's clap together, we'll win.